All right, guys. Excuse me. Sure why the quality is so grainy on this thing. I might need to actually clean it. Let me see if I got a. I'm in the little house office here. My duck call room and gun room and all this other stuff. Let me just see if I can't give you guys a quick wipe. It's been in the shed for so long. No, still kind of poopy. Well, I tried. Not sure if I can actually remove that stud. Oh, yeah, well, that did something. There. See if that fixes the quality any. Not not really looking like it. Nonetheless, we are here in the home office and get set up here. Okay. Camera. You don't have access to this feature. Okay. Well, all right. So we're going to start off the normal way here. I've got the other computers behind me, so it's going to make it a little bit easier here. We're going to start out with the subscribers. We've got FJE, Asinio, YouTube. We got Josiah Sanchez, Caesar Philippe, uh, DD Motorblogging, George Varon, Trevor Fetton, Andrew M, the Lucas, 6ST, John Prejus, something like that. Dean Mojeka, something like that. These are still rolling in. I don't know what's going on with it. Mahilio Matovic, something like that. Yeah. Anders Clem, NSR 400 NTW, Irvin. I don't understand what's going on here. I swear it's trying to make me learn how to read. Matt Campton, 1RY, Kudog, Back Outside, Ozan Ginny, GM1D Bach, CNH Sawmill. I checked out your channel. You guys move some freaking wood. Very cool. Vadim Krot, Tommy Herrera, almost, maybe, something like that. Jeffrey Bergran, Lucas Velquez, DM7, Danny Ox, Sean James, Gene Mueller. I remember Gene. Patrick William. Yep. Okay, we're back to it. All right, enough of that. Going through the analytics the other day, and it said like 80% of my viewers and subscribers come from America. But holy cow, I don't seem to get the American names. All right, yeah, we're good. We're good. I know we got we're averaging again around 40 to 60 subscribers a day, which blows me away. I don't know where it's coming from. I haven't been able to upload as much as I want to. I do have content in the works, but after putting up that little poll or not poll, but the question there on the video the other day. I kind of want to play with how I try to present the videos now, because it seems like people want more in depth. Like talking to my grandfather, he's the same way I am when it comes to it. Like I guess the people that I enjoy watching, Outdoors with the Morgans, Wrangler Star, One Lonely Farmer, Logger Wade, Bucking. They give you the personal side of them as well as what they're doing. And like with Grandpa, he doesn't want all that jabber John. He wants the action. He wants what's going on, that type of deal. So I'm gonna try. I don't know. It's gonna be harder for me to stop and talk about my files, talk about my what's going on here, what we're running, what I've done. I've got to get into that frame of mind. I was doing it a little bit. I probably was never very good at it, but I was doing a little bit when I was skidding, because that's one of them jobs where you're doing one thing, you're focused on the road in front of you or the hitch behind you, or, you know what I mean? You're in one little box, so you can kind of talk while you're doing it and it's quiet. I don't have any of that where I am. I'm out in the woods. Yes, it's quiet, but if I got the tractor going, if I got the chainsaw going or the winch, it's hard to hear. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. See what I can't do about that. Mr. Velcro, how you doing? There's one of them names that just get me every time. I'm gonna say Joseph. Joseph, maybe. I'm sorry. Hello, how are you? So we're back. We just got back home from church. Um, very good deal. I really wish I could figure out Velcro. Is that? Let me do this. Oh, I got three monitors behind me here. I'm in the old farming sim office. I used to spend a lot of time. Let me see my channel. Let me see. Automatic 720. It doesn't give me 1080 or 4K on this computer. I don't know why it's so grainy on my end. It doesn't look horrible, I guess, on the on your guys' end. It's not great, but it's what we got. So I'd like to say I've got a pile of stuff to talk about, but that wouldn't be the case. I can kind of run you through what we've got going on. New discovery. I've had the side by side on marketplace for a little while, and it looks like I might have an individual that's willing to buy it. Todd Adams, how you doing, Bubba? So that is interesting. I'm kind of nervous. Of course, after somebody wants something that you've kind of built and made into what you were wanting, you kind of get them cold feet about it. But the way I've got to look at it is it's costed me a lot of money. I bought the thing for $16,000 back in 2018, and I bet you I have the better part of 16 to 20,000 more put into it. It's one of them. It was perfect the way it was, but I threw money at it, and I threw money at it, and I threw money at it, and it just I'll never get it back out of it. So I put it on for 15. I put it on for 16.5. I let it go 2-3 weeks. Had a lot of interest in it, and then I put it down to 15,000. And I've got a guy out of Long Island that wants to come up this week, take a look at it, and pick it up. So it'll be a blessing if it happens. Just not sure the way I want to go, because we are in winter right now. I don't have tree work just knocking at my door. So I don't want to sell it and live off of that. You know what I mean? I do have some things that I can do with it. I do want to get a dump trailer. That is one of the big ones, especially if I start doing this firewood. And I'm also looking at. I've been watching the Log Father thing. I've been watching him for a while. Let me see, where are you? History. Yeah, the Log Father, and he's got the Eco Pro 3000 or 300. That's what the first processor that he started out with, and they are around $7,000, $8,000 here. We have them local. I can go pick one up, but it's a entry level Chinese processor. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm batting back and forth if I want to do that, get myself a processor, a dump trailer, and start going at it, or if I want to go with the skidder plan or a farm tractor or something like that to move more wood. And it's kind of a blessing that I haven't actually removed any of the logs or the firewood that I've been bulking up on my off days. Because if I do go this route, I'm not going to go and get rid of, 13, 14 cords of wood for $1,000, $1,200 if I can. Like I said, we were doing the math. So if John was to come down, pick up that firewood, like I said, he's doing $800 in trucking. They're a ways away, so it's completely justifiable. I understand. Okay, so we'll say on the low scale, I think I said 16 cord, and I think Ed said 13 to 15, something like that. So I'm going to say 14 cord. Okay, so if he gets $1,800 for truck and pup of that firewood, log length firewood, $1,800 for that, I'm going to say I'm getting $300 times, we'll say 14. We'll meet him in the middle. So I'm looking at, by not getting rid of it, $4,200. A lot more labor, a lot more of this, that, and the other thing. There's a whole lot there. But instead of trucking it away, I think it's a better idea to keep it, or maybe I'll sell the truck and not the pup just to get some money flowing. Because there's a lot of firewood there on the piece that I'm working. And then this week is the last week of hunting. So I should be getting into that other piece down the road to get into the back section where the pretty good wood stands. So it's hit and miss. I'm at an awful crossroads right now on which direction I want to go. If I'm to do the firewood, it'd be a lot easier on my tractor, I believe. If I keep logging with it, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. The tractor's doing fine. It's doing actually exceedingly well. After I did the chains and fixed the mess up from the too long of a PTO shaft, I had cut that down a little bit. I cut about 3/4 of an inch off each end, so now I can raise it up and down, and I don't have the issue there. Nonetheless, I'm at that crossroads because I do have these 80 acres to log, but I don't have property after that, except for I've got 400. It's a long deal, but I'm thinking the firewood route might be more of an entry level, and if that takes off, get into the logging equipment side. What I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of go all in get myself a cable unit and start doing it. But if one pump went, the transmission went, I blew a tire, um, I would be in the hole. I would be in the black. So I think a budget unit, and I'm not even all that sure. I was looking on Marketplace locally. At firewood processors, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way I want to go yet, because with what I've got, if he does buy the side by side, and even if he doesn't, it's something to work up towards. But there's a lot. There's a lot in that market. Now I'm half tempted to go with the Chinese version, which I do not want to go. I know that it's not a contractor grade or anything like that. It more or less homeowner. However, like I said, the log father used it for years. He said he had this and that go on it, bolts loosen up. So as long as I keep up the maintenance, that's one thing. But then when you see, like here's a Dana, it's a 2012 SC12 XP firewood processor. So to use, my wife even likes to use it. But the thing comes with a live deck, hydraulic saw feed, controller with new belt, extra chains. But it's a professional unit. I don't know if it'll actually come across very well with the lights in here. A Dana is a good. I thought there was three. Oh, there's more than that. It's got a little umbrella with it too. That log deck is the big thing. That's at least for the Chinese version that I'm looking at. The live deck is probably another 2 to 3 thousand. My dad wants me to grab or rent a processor for a week, month, something like that, and see what I can get accomplished with it. And that's the next thing. But the only processors we have around, you rent an outfit to come in, process your wood, and they leave. And that's another half idea that I have as well, with getting a processor. If I do, um, is maybe do it for hire. Same thing with the dump trailer. Wrangler Star. I see a lot of people on here now. Wrangler Star introduced what he would do if he was younger, and he had, you know, 6 8 grand. He would buy himself a dump trailer. He was talking kind of third person type deal. He would buy himself a dump trailer. He'd put out an ad on Marketplace, $250. I drop off the dump trailer. You fill it. I bring it to the junkyard or whatever, bring it to the dump. And he said, but what I'd do is I would take that dump trailer stuff, I'd bring it home, sift through it, and a lot of times you find old axe heads. Some of these axe heads are worth freaking ridiculous money. Um, People throw away a lot of stuff. I was just helping the lady out down the road, and she's getting rid of copper. She's getting rid of old tools. She's getting rid of all this stuff that is not produced anymore. And I'm like, I try to explain it to her. We can put this on YouTube or Facebook, and we can put it on eBay, and you get money for it. Just get rid of it. I want it out. And that's the mindset of a lot of these people, especially when they've got foreclosures, they've got death in the family, they've got whatever's going on. They need to be able to fill a bin, get it out, get it back in. So that's one of them things that I actually see popping around here. And dump trailers aren't cheap. The cheapest used one that I've seen In the past couple months on here, it's been around $4,000 to $6,000, and they're rotting right out. So I think that light is bothering me right behind my head. We'll fix that real quick. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Profits in the black. Well, it's that type of year. The wife's car needs tires, needs brakes, needs a wheel bearing in the rear. She works from home now, so we haven't needed that car. We use it every now and then, but it pretty much stays here unless we go to town or something like that. My truck, same thing. Need tires. I don't use it. I go mile and a half, 2 miles down the road to the job I'm working, bring it back home, get firewood, that type of deal. I'm not traveling 200 miles a day anymore. And she's not going, 30, 40 miles to work. So it's just one of them things on the back burner. And the more it sits, the worse off things get. But yeah, well, that's the idea of it, Todd. Is I have not had a full day. I've worked in the woods. You guys see, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. A lot of times I'm here building mufflers, building chainsaws, building whatever in the morning. Then around noontime, well, some mornings I get up and get out in the woods early. Um, but I don't want to mess with the issues with it. I know from my experience that my tractor doesn't start great in the cold. So by me going out there at 5 a.m., building a fire next to it, plugging it in, doing all this, it's not good for it. I don't mess with it. I wait till 7, 8 o'clock. I'll go out and start it. I'll do that type of thing, and I'm not gonna reef on it all day when I've got to come home and split wood or go deliver this, go deliver that. So I've got a lot going on, and I'm not a logger. I'm not a tree climber. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not. My day is I wake up. I'm a mechanic. I go out into the shed, work on whatever needs to get worked. It's one of them things. It just being a logger. Actually, a logger is a great term for it because at least 30-40% of the last winter that I was there, the equipment was down, the equipment was broken, something was going on, something wouldn't start. It's just life. So I'm trying to do what I can with the time in the mornings, work in the shed, get that stuff going. Between all the chainsaws I still have, thank the Lord for that, because times get tough enough. I put a saw online and it sells, and then I've got money coming in. It's a paycheck. So same thing with that muffler. I think I was $100 short for last month's insurance. I put a muffler on there 2 days later, Black Friday deal. The guy came in, bought it for $125. It was a blessing. So everything's kind of flowing as far as that, but it's by the skin of my teeth. And I'm trying to figure out, do I set roots or do I keep being utilized in all the areas that I am? That way it kind of, it keeps me happy, because I want to be in the woods, but then when I'm in the woods, I'm good. And then all of a sudden stuff starts going a little bit weird, and I get a call and this person needs me to go and drop off a quart of fire. It's nice. It's nice. I'm not getting burnt out. It's just getting a little bit crazy. It's like tomorrow I've got to go down and help a guy. He's opening up an Airbnb, so he needs me to do some dirt work and this type of stuff. I'm going down. I'm going to do that. Less in the red. I think I got what you're saying. Well, that's the name of it too. Is I need to make the decision, and realistically, I would love to just go out and get a dump trailer and cut firewood. Just cut it, bring it home, split it up, stack it, store it, that type of thing. When people need it, I've got it type deal. Um, but what is my time worth? Is it worth more for me to go out and spend $10,000 on a processor, Chinese processor, or is it going to be more beneficial for me to keep um, more beneficial for me to buy a professional processor that's older, has some quirks to it or something like that. I'm still trying to figure that out because that kind of goes the same thing with the skidder. Do you buy a old Detroit leaking, linkage issues, all loose and everything else, or do you go out, work my tractor as long as I possibly can, and just keep banking? That way, I can go out and get that 540 G3 or something like that. So it's a game because I'm not looking to finance anything. I'm looking to pay for it cash and do that type of deal because I don't like the way things are going in the world anyway, you know. So let me know what you think. This has been a blessing. This is a jewel. In the communist state of New York, we're not allowed to have flavored tobacco. So I'm not going to say that extra virgin tobacco. I'm not going to go bragging this thing up by any means because I've done it before and messed up with it. On the quitting when mother got diagnosed with cancer there 2-3 years ago. I quit chewing, I quit smoking, I quit everything for 6 months, and then I had a bad day, a really really rough day, and went right back to chewing just like that. So I'm just saying it's working good, working good. I still do the chew, but I might be a can every 2 days now instead of a can and a half a day. And I haven't bought a pack of cigars since day before Thanksgiving. Day before Thanksgiving. So it's doing what it's supposed to. I never thought. I think half the reason is because I can do this. I can be in my house. I can do it. I tell you, the biggest thing is I have not had one fire in my shed since Thanksgiving. I would wake up 3-4 o'clock in the morning, go out there, start a fire, put on YouTube, and start editing videos. That is another thing, guys. Please bear with me with the videos. Like I said, I don't do inside my house. Sundays is one thing, but you guys know when I'm doing live streams, I do it outside, and the reason for that is because I smoke. When I'm in here, I don't, and I don't have the urge to. That is a trigger spot right now for me still. Just being in that shed, which really stinks because I love it. I love my shed, but it's very hard to sit down on that cold stool and edit something and not be taking a drag right now. It just, same thing with Monster. I've been drinking Monster Energy for 10 years. And the day that I didn't even decide that I wasn't smoking anymore, I just didn't. I didn't do the routine. And my wife, I bought one for my wife, one of these about a month ago, and I took a couple drags of it Thanksgiving. I didn't even think about smoking cigars. The next day, I was making a excuse to go to the store because nothing's really all that close. I mean, we do have a store right down the road, but you kind of have to have a reason to go out where we are. And I made a decision not to. Generally, it's I need a drink, so I brought out some water and I did that type of thing. And I didn't have to go to the store for the drink and the pack of cigars. So I've been doing really good on that. But like I said, this is not a it's easy, you can do it, blah 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 blah. It's all mental, you know. Like I said, I never decided to quit. I could go out and buy a pack tomorrow. I just don't have the want to. But I got rid of the triggers. I'm going to be in the shed. I know that. I just hope it doesn't just, you know, suck me right back in. And Todd, you were saying that you were. I have to go back, buddy. I have to go back to remember. Saying that you quit the sticks as well. Let me see. Oh, it was Ground Pounder. Where the heck is he? Overcoming the urge. To be honest with you, Todd, and my wife, I got my wife smoking them Winchester cigars years ago. Back we'd have a couple drinks or something like that, and she had these because we've got Indian reservations around here, and we'd go up to the reservation, and they'd have bagged cigars and stuff like that. So she'd get these freaking nasty tasting things, and she didn't really care for them either. They just when she wanted one, she'd have one, and you could almost smell the cancer coming out of them. I mean, they smelt like I think they were like grape cigars, and it was almost like a perfume grape, not a grape taste. Um, yeah, so I told her stop that. I said here, it doesn't have any or it's natural. You know, it's natural cigar wrap with uh, cigarette tobacco in it, and you know she's still doing it, but she doesn't do it as much now with one of these. I think she's probably a pack a week or something like that. It's not like me being a pack, 2 packs a day. I quit about 20 years ago for 3 months, then back to the bad. Yeah, it's just so natural. That's one of the things. It's like this. I was kind of worried last weekend that things just weren't kind of going uh, with the time and all that. It wasn't good. And then to get home, think that I have to start a fire, wait, you know, for an hour or so for the shed to actually get above freezing, and then to sit here. And I almost look at this as like our bar time, where I'm sitting at the bar back in the day, talking with you guys, and it was nice to be able to take a drag and you know go back and forth and this, that, and the other thing. But no, it feels good today. It feels good today. Some guy shot. What's up, buddy? How you doing? I see you. You're tinkering, man. I see that. I've actually got. I got a sing. I bought a 372 a couple months back. It was an old X Torque, and the guy had done some finger porting, pretty crude finger porting, and I messed up. I think I'm not sure. He put new seals in it, a new crank, um, gaskets through the case and whatnot, and I ended up using one of my Holtz Pharma knockoff Chinese 372s that I was supposed to build back. But the thing is, just I don't think highly of them saws at all. I bought that saw $400, and it didn't run right nonetheless. So I took parts off of that saw, threw it on this 372 with the finger ports, and I had went in and I dressed up some of the finger ports and made the exhaust nice and smooth, and gave nonetheless. She's running and screaming. It doesn't want to idle, and it does not want a 4-stroke. And it is a hungry, mean saw. I don't think I've ever had a 372 freaking come alive like this one does. Man, oh man, I want to get it dialed in so bad, but I'm half tempted to say there's air leak, or the fact that I did a base gasket delete after I tested squish, whatever you want to call it. I think I messed up a little bit. So, about time I finally catch a strap. It's just a little hangout spot, man. I'm freezing curly. I just got back from working on the dock. Oh yeah, it's snowing pretty good here right now. Autocorrect, yeah, I get that all the time. I don't know. I never messed with finger porting. I've never messed with it, but this was a saw that I bought for $50 off eBay. It was a box of parts, more or less, and there was a brand new cylinder with finger ports, and I was like, hey, I'll give it a shot, brand new deal. So I put it on, and the thing screams. Like I said, it is going to be a wicked, wicked cutter if I can get it dialed in. And like I said, I don't know if it's air leaks. I'm half tempted to take my 371 that I have built and kind of on a shelf. I'm half tempted to take that jug off, swap over piston and jug onto that, just because I know seals and all that. I've got the compression tester, but I don't have, and I haven't really researched enough about the vacuum testing. Like I was thinking with the compression tester, it would test your vacuum too, but I can't think about it. It doesn't seem right to me. I don't know why I'm thinking my base pressures are gonna be all screwed up. But it just don't stop moving. Yeah, he went crazy with this. That's why I was kind of not putting anything into it. I like I said, I took them. What was it? I took the flywheel, the flywheel, the oiler, the clutch, the chain brake, everything off of that Husqvarna or Pharmatech or whatever the heck you want to call it. And I put it on there, and the thing started first pull. So I was kind of like, whoa. But at that time, I was running the the X-Torque carb, and I couldn't mess with it because it has some stupid cap locks on it, and I don't really mess with X-Torque carbs. So I ended up taking the whole intake deal off, and I had cut a bigger opening, that way I could slide the wall barrel. Was it 371 or 372? Either way, the wall barrel carb onto it with the intake and blah 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 blah. And same thing happened with that. I wasn't able to tune it. So then I think I put a Zama carb on it off 365. And same deal. So like I said, I might be actually fighting with seals. It's just playing around. That's what I mean. I don't have the back test, so I was kind of doing the. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Well, look on eBay, man. Like I said, I pick them up all the time. I think I've sold six this year. None that were ported. I do the highway big bores, seals, that type of deal. But if I could pick them up for anywhere around $50 to $200, and then sell them for 5 to 7, I figure that's a pretty decent change or trade, especially back when I was working for the man or whatever with the state. I was buying saws left and right, which thank God for it. Because now that I am self-employed, when I do have a hard time or something like that, I can take one of them saws, and it took me a very very long time to be able to take one of my saws and get rid of it. But kind of like that 266 I had back 3-4 months ago, I put on here. I don't think it was ever really run, and I bought it. I bought it for $200 off eBay. I put it on there for 1,000, got 900 out of it, so $700-800 profit. It was just little things like that. I try to you find deals. Yeah, yeah. You can buy extra. The 365s. Uh, they seem like they sell higher than 372s on eBay though. I like 365s. I like 371s. I like the single rings. I have done a couple builds with the highway pistons, the big bore pistons jugs, and instead of putting 2 rings on it, I put the one. And with the resistance of the 2 rings, I get a lot better throttle response from a single ring saw than I do with a. Now that might just be numbers, playing the numbers game, but the way I look at it is resistance. And I actually I got rid of a 395, and that thing had so much compression that every time I went to try to start the stupid thing, I would break the recoil. I went through 3 recoils on it before I put the decompression valve back on it, and that's the only way you can start that saw. Only way I could actually start it, because it would always break either the recoil spring, a dog, or the rope. Yep, you'd probably get less water with 1 ring instead of 2. It all depends. It all depends. I'm sure there will be people out there knocking it like everything else, but I've done a lot of builds with singles. Yeah, right. All the purists. I don't know what I've got. My uncle just gave me an old steel. I have to look at it. I need a handlebar for it. I don't want to speak out of context and say it's an 052, but it could be an 046. I just got rid of a. I'd have to look. What did I get rid of? eBay. Sold. It's probably not going to show me because it has. I sell so much on eBay. Yeah, it's not going to. Recently viewed collection, maybe? No, that stinks. I wish I knew what the steel was that I had. The thing was beautiful. It was beautiful. They had a 2 screw. There was 2 screws for the recoils, small little recoil. It was the old steel badge with the chain teeth wrapped around the steel, and it was 2 screws on each. And I remember one of the ears, my brother-in-law needed one of the screws, so I took it off and I gave it to him because it was a hanging saw for me. I don't like hanging saws, but some are just too pretty. I don't know, too pretty to work. But that 266 was for me. Um, I'll have to get with you. Some guy saw shop. I'll have to get with you. It's in the shed. That's one of the downfalls of being in the house right now, is I can't go and pull it out and say here it is, But I have to look. I know there's full wraps on eBay for it for like 40-60 bucks, and that's probably the route I would go. But I don't think it's a saw that'll run. Really, it's heavier than a freaking anchor. I'll have to look. I'll have to look at what it is, buddy. It just Wesco will make anything. Hey, these Chinese cylinders, man, they are actually quite impressive. My dad put one in his Husky 55 8 years ago, and that stupid thing is still going. And that was back when Chinese parts were, 25 cents back years ago, and the quality wasn't what it is now. I'm not saying I'm going to go and put Chinese parts in saws. I'm just saying that even some of their piston jugs, and apparently they're all right because, like I said, he runs his and hasn't had a problem with it. But Wesco, I've always used them in my slow mobiles, 4-wheelers, that type of deal. I'd run them in saws, but they want what Highway wants for a big bore kit for a piston. Don't worry about what people think, man. Freaking, where's old boy? I should have asked him if he wanted to. Ground pounder. I won't bother him. I know he's starting to get it in the chat. I love the old 46 piston. I love the old 46 piston. I got with 80, yeah, pop up. Yeah, I use the pop ups. That's all I put in saws now is pop ups. I don't know why, but like I said, that 395 that I just bought and sold, that was the one that Logger Wade. Actually, the first order that I ever made from Logger Wade for my Eastern Loggers calendar and my shirts and the hat, all that's over on that side. But I sent him a message. Hey, could you send me over some mounts for the 365? And I know he had a bunch of puddings laying around in the junk pile, and he sent me a bag of all the mounts for it. And I put that big bore 395 with a pop-up piston in it. And like I said, the amount of money that I put in recoils and everything else, I think I lost money just selling it. I think I got rid of it for $550. I saw ground pounded, and it was hilarious. I love Logger Wade. I saw him. Yeah, he was the Axe. Yeah, he was on Axeman. I still haven't watched Logger Wade's or Buck and Billy Ray's. I had him on in the shop there for a little bit, but the commercials drove me nuts. So it's kind of funny that you can't actually watch them on Discovery. I think them last couple seasons they don't even air. So you've got to watch them on like Roku Live TV or something like that. They'll have Axemen on there for days. He's good people, man. He's really good people. I've got him. I've been going back and forth with Logger Wade for a while now. I've been sending him. I don't think he's got his number or nothing, but I've been sending him messages back and forth, trying to get him back on the YouTubes. And He's good people. He's worried that now that he's not in the woods so much, and he's more or less running the mill and whatnot, he's worried that people aren't gonna be interested. And it's like everything, you know. Oh, you watched him on Amazon Prime? Okay. Um, okay. Okay. I'm always taking it in. I watch son of a gun. I'm horrible with names. Horrible names. Iron Horse. Uh, the McCullough. I'm so bad with it. Um, I watch Iron Horse. I watch Tin Man Saws. I watch all of Buckin's guys. They got me. They got me to spend the money on the Fordham grinder and time and wheel and everything else. But my problem is I keep everything. I keep everything on these, you know, little notepads, and always got them in my back pocket. You know, and they go through the washer, so I lose my numbers, and I'm a spaz. I've got a notepad out there that I can write my numbers down, but the problem is that I write everything in my little butt books there, whatever you want to call them, and I only write partial stuff on that the stupid binder when I'm doing it, just out of natural habit. Uh, but yeah, Lager Wade has got a very colorful and versatile. He's cut back. He's cut back the past 2 3 years. He definitely has. I've watched a lot of stuff with my kids, especially his Christmas episodes. That's always fun. He will. He will. He's going through some hard times. He's just you know the old boy. I mean, I feel guilty. Like what was he saying? Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. I've had so much support. It's made me very humble. I actually was figuring when I quit posting, nobody would really notice and life would go on, but people have been on me to get moving again since I quit. So I gave him a whole heart speech, you know. He says, "Hell yeah, thanks, man. I'll get back to it. Never knew it meant all that much. I'm starting to get happy again, and I feel like I could brighten a day or two now." So, like I said, he's give him some slack. The old boy's trying to keep everything running in the woods. Um, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Just after working on the equipment we had for John, and then times that by 3 to 4 with Wade, and then now having to do all the stuff for the mill, and like he was talking about in his last video, pricing, trying to give the log sellers or somebody like me who's getting the logs from the woods to the road to be picked up, bring to the mill. He's trying to get them the best possible, which, and he was straight up. I was not giving them what their fair share was. So now that he's dealt with this company that came in and kind of gave him a, a, a business 101 course, um, he's now figured out that this is what I'm going to make. This is what I'm going to do to get people to bring me wood and pay them their proper share for the amount of work. Because that's the nice thing about Wade is he's worked the woods. He's scaled the logs. He's been on every single side of it. So he's the type of lumber buyer and a type of logger that we need to see more of in my eyes, because he knows he's seen both sides of it. He's not behind a desk with a mill and you know shaving numbers off these guys' logs and everything else. So they're having to struggle. It I think it's going to be for the best, um, if he keeps with it. But yeah, ever heard of lateral gas? Dude, I do not get big brained about this stuff. I do, but I don't. My brother in law is very, very, what do you call it? Scientific, not scientific. He's very intelligent. He reads about things. Things that I'm trying to get better at is my Bible, that type of deal, because that's what really matters in the end. Um, but no, as far as porting goes, man, I play with stuff. I play with stuff. I'm more of a tinkerer than a anything. You know, if it I don't know. I don't know. The exhaust side I have done a lot more research in. I will admit that, because I have ran ported saws that didn't run as good as a saw with a good exhaust. Um, so I think it goes hand in hand. If you can get a saw ported and then build that muffler to meet the absolute best flow, expansion, everything to get synced, you're gonna have a saw. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know, and that's kind of like the same focus that I have on this whole deal right now. You know, this spring I started I started climbing trees, and being a monkey and doing all this stuff, and I'm a 210-pound monkey up in a 60, 80 foot tree. I've never been a man of heights. I don't like heights, but the money's good. The money's real good. Is it a passion of mine to be up that high? No. I did it because it's a specialty deal. People need it done. They need the stuff over their houses done. And then I did a lot of bundles, sold a lot of wood this year, and now I'm into logging, and it's kind of the same thing. Now, do I want to port saws? Do I want to build exhaust? Do I want to? I need to funnel my energy into one thing. I guess I don't need to, but I would like to have we're going to be all right this month, babe. I just sold 40 cords of wood, or I just got rid of 20 loads of logs, or that's what I need to do. I need to stop being so squirrel brained with what I'm doing, and actually settle down just a little bit for my own peace of mind, because I'm going nuts right now. And that's the same thing with the port and saws. Am I going to be a porting man? Am I going to do that, or am I going to build exhaust? Because if I do one, the other thing is going to slack. And from the porting side, you can actually have a lot more control. If you look at it's that guy up in BC that Bucking uses. Man, oh man, I watch him too. Donnie Walker. I called up Donnie Walker. They said it was $400 for a. That sounded good. $400 for a cylinder, piston rings, that type of deal, and they'd ship it to me. But because Husqvarna got away from doing jugs, cylinders, everything else, they completely got rid of the Husqvarna line. Uh, the Husqvarna's old line of saws, they were playing around with different manufacturers to figure out what the best piston and jug would be. But nonetheless, they make their cylinders. They do all their porting to one set of numbers, and that's what you receive. Doesn't matter, this, that, squash, headspace, all this stuff. So I just I'm a squirrel brain when it comes to it. I can port, I can build mufflers, I can build ported exhaust, I can build big expansion chambers, this, that. But what is my time best spent at? That's my biggest thing. Um, I'm sorry. I'm losing chat. I get off on tangents. I'm sorry. Um, I'm drilling holes above the ring to allow gas behind the ring to get more pressure against the cylinder. See, I was doing. I was playing. What was it? Iron Horse. Iron Horse was doing something similar to that for oil channels to keep things cooler and more lubrication to them. Where you're more or less making her hot. Not point intended that you're making it hotter. You're using it for more compression. Yeah. Trick is usually to reserve for race vehicles. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Give yourself a little expansion hole. Yeah. I've been doing it on some of the hot saws. I've been doing. How has your reliability been, or have you used them enough to figure out reliability? Because that's huge, especially some of the domes of the. I've definitely noticed with some of the pistons. Um, the space between the top ring and the dome on some of mine are very, very thin. So that leads me to believe that there's not much hotter spark, or you know what I mean. You wouldn't want too much more going on there because it would just blow the top of the piston off. Um, those little tricks are 90% of the work, 10% less gains. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's where your muffler mods and this, that, and the other thing. That's where it hugely helps. I am worried after talking to my dad about it too, and I kind of knew it, but he was interested, especially on the 500, a year down the road, a couple years down the road, if it's going to start scoring the pistons because of the lack of back pressure. Yeah, you can make them hotter and hotter. You've got to be able to cool them. Little spinny chair is nice, but I'm probably making you guys crazy. Eh? Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, it's even worse up here. Yeah. Just to give a heads up, Mister Todd. So I know I can't even say it, but like Ground Pounder has been in, and he's been acting as a mediator in some of the comments. Um, if you see a comment that's got excessive cussing or anything like that, get rid of it. I'm doing that now. I used to go back and forth with these people, not so much as prove them wrong, but I'll kill them with kindness more or less. But some of the ones that I've been getting into, one of the ones yesterday that came in talking about me doing the extra fluttering with my finger. I'm getting rid of them just because my kids, they go on, they see that stuff, and they don't need to be reading them type of comments. So I'm not really getting rid of toxic comments or anything like that. But if you see anything that's outside the realm of what we're trying to do here, definitely don't be afraid to get rid of it or bring it to my attention if you would. If you're around, it's not. I'm not asking you to do any more work by any means, but yeah, I know the pounder was going after some people pretty good. I had one comment left. What was it? It said MFer pulled the axe out of his inventory or something like that, and I gave him a. I didn't think it was all that big of a deal, but I gave him a comment saying, "Sounds like you need a little bit more sun. Get away from that game or something like that." And then his buddy came in and ripped me apart about it, getting butthurt over his cat, which I didn't really get butthurt over it by any means. I was trying to make a little joke like, "Hey, go out and see the sun, bub." I was just, I don't know. I guess my sense of humor doesn't work well with others, but nonetheless, that went crazy. It went bad. Um, and then Ground Pounder came in and he wrangled everybody up pretty hardcore. And then the guy started going after Ground Pounder. Then he started making family comments, and it's done. It's done. I got rid of the 50. I think it was 50. Doesn't really matter. 50 something back and forths we had. I got rid of the first comment, and then I had a couple people coming in, like I said yesterday, making stupid. Which I know I play with my finger. I do. I play with my finger on that throttle a lot, especially with a snappy saw. I love it. I don't need to hold on to the stupid thing when I'm in, a little bit of holding wood. I'll play with it and zip it, and it really amplifies it on the camera side. And maybe it's just a first person. I don't really realize it that I'm doing it that much, but on the camera, it really it's there, and it makes me. I'm trying to do it less. It's like smoking, when you get into that kind of rhythm where three squirts is all that thing's going to need to get where you want it, and then you can pound in that wedge or whatever. Um, Nonetheless, I get the effing with your finger so much, or finger effing it, or something like, you know what I mean. You get into that stuff, and I'll nuke it for now on. I'm done with it. Uh, the people that just throw hate right off the bat, like I'd let me go to some of them. Let me go to some of them real quick. Not to highlight them, but just to kind of get you on the level that I am with it. Like you said, I just figured out how to do it. Good. Okay. So I wish I had a way that I could moderate them. I'm not sure if I do or not. I'm not worried about banning or anything like that, but if the comment is not good, get rid of it. Let me see. Let me give you a couple for instances here. Boom. I got 1,000,000 views on this one. This one, yeah, 400. I think there was around 600 or 700 comments on it yesterday until I went I went nuclear on some of them that I was going back and forth with quite a bit. Uh, some of these guys are just hilarious. Sea Love, like I need another reminder my chainsaw sucks. That made me laugh. Um, where are you? This right here. I bet you I've got 300 comments about me cutting such a high stump. And like I said, with it being so sticking, it's a short video. You can't tell you why I did it. Lost 2 foot of lumber on that tree. But nonetheless, I might, okay, back off the caffeine, and that nervous trigger finger will smooth right out. There's a lot of that stuff, and that doesn't bother me at all. I wish I had some of the for instances from yesterday that I could read off, but you understand. You know what I'm looking for and what I'm not. I put you as a moderator because you know. Uh, I just figured out how to do it about the video moderator part. That is okay. Okay. Welcome back, Bubba. I'm waiting to start. I'm waiting to. It'll flow, buddy. It'll flow. Don't worry. You know, I never did. I wasn't doing shorts to get subscribers. I think when I started doing shorts, I might have had 300 subs. I put that one video up that blew up called Big Pine Drop with Steel 500i. And like I said, that got 1 million views within a month, something like that. And I wish I could just not have put it up. You know, for the 300 people that were watching, it was perfect. You know, it was right up their alley. But for the freaking YouTube bloggers out there, holy cow, stupid stuff. No, high stumps is not good. I know that. People that are loggers know and understand why a high stump's not good. There's a lot of reasons for it. Wasting wood, blah blah blah. The high stump, I'll do a high stump if I know the tree is rotten or it's got a defect, big defect. This one had sawdust all the way around the tree. The skirt, the roots of the tree was all sawdust. So I knew something's inside this tree. It had all the signs. It's hard without having the video in front of me here. However, the GoPro shows a 24-foot, 26-foot pine, white pine, which people argue that it's not even a pine, it's an oak. That's what I'm saying. But I'm doing a Humboldt on it. I got Matt on the camera recording me, and he's giving me the, you know, come. So I'm giving the squirting of the finger because I don't know if it's this much. He wasn't showing me how much, so he was just, you know, just squirt a little bit. So that's what I was doing. And the stump's 2 foot tall. I was just trying to get into good wood, you know, if it had rot or whatever it was at the butt. It had the bell to it, like it wasn't healthy. Yeah, and come to find out, it had a freaking 14-inch hollow center, and the ants were just coming out of it. But you know, they don't watch that, and the 300 comments after the first one about it being a high stump, and me literally writing out, if you watch the next short, it's of the stump with the ants coming out of it, and you see the big hollow spot in it. But people don't care about that. They just want to just throw hate. So it's no big deal, like I said. But just for the moderators, like I said, I'm not. I put you in the position for a reason. I'm not going to question what you decide to not let me see or whatever. If you come across it, you go ahead and do what you need to do. But yeah, you do lose wood, and your stump. Generally, your stump wood is the best wood. You know, it's going to be it's going to be the straightest, going to be the thickest, going to be the most board foot from the tree. So that's why high stumping pisses people off. It's your butt log. No, I don't care, Todd. Don't let me make you think that I care by any means. I just it did get old. it wasn't the first 100 comments. I was always chuckling and whatnot. It was after the third 300. No. Oh yeah, side hill. Side hill is huge. You could have 8-10 feet of tree stump that you leave, but on the backside there's only a foot before the dirt. So you're losing all that anyway. But yeah, the side hills is rough. Oh yeah, you understand. You understand, but that's why people give so much crap. They're not looking at how clean the face cut was, or even the back cut. I'm not even going to get into it all. There's a lot to it, and I actually got a binder. I'm looking for a book. It's called what is it called? Logger Wade out there. Will it pick it up? Nope. Fallers and Bucker's Handbook. Practical methods for falling and bucking timber safely. This goes through it all. It's back 1976, 1980 something. Great book. Logger Wade Buck and Billy Ray had mentioned it. I looked it up. My wife found the PDF file, so I was able to print it off. But I'm actually trying to get the book. That way, when we have these talks and people have questions, or somebody asks me a question, I can give an answer and have backup about it. Because there's some things that I would like to know. I know that my back cuts generally are flat, and I don't leave much of a whatever you call it. I don't like having to dress up my stumps. So I try to do them as flat as I can. I try to take the belly out of them, the hardwoods at least, because they'll barber chair, especially right now. I'm having a lot of problems with barber chairing, which we'll get into in the next video. Todd, I went and did some little bit of pulling. I had some trees setting back on me, so the roads froze up pretty good out there. So I got the tractor out on the road and did some little bit of hairy pulling over of trees. But I wanted to. That's one of the ones that I wish I would have actually stopped the tractor, talked about it a little bit, gave you credit where credit was due, and instead I just kind of went at it and stuff that I generally don't like showing because it is dangerous. I did have to drive over a tree that had less than an inch of holding wood and was set back on the road, but nonetheless, that's the job, and I'm still heaving and hoeing about what I'm going to do with that yet, but yeah, the old fathers, man, absolutely. See, what I'll do with bucking is I'm about a month without watching them, and then I'll have a freaking rain day or something like that, and I can just watch bucking for that day. Or same thing with Wade. I don't with the outdoors with the Morgans. I'll watch them every day until I get burnt out, and I'll do the same with Bucking and Wade, and I kind of put them on with Wrangler Star, and I'll put them on a little bit of a schedule. And if I'm not interested, then all of a sudden I get something that I'm interested in. Like when Bucking got his 500i back, I wanted to know what he thought. I watched it, and then I watched that, you know, 4 to 6 episodes that he had before that to get me back in the groove. And that's what I do generally with a lot of people, just to kind of binge out a little bit and make a video out of it instead of one small, short 20-minute video. I've got, 6 20-minute videos that I can relax to. There's a ton of things to consider for stumping, and I'm constantly learning. I'm not a logger. Well, I'm not a logger either. No, I don't know. I the names, People get hung on names a lot. What do you do for a living? What do you enjoy doing? That's what I like doing. Barbara Charon, hardwoods are sketchy, and why I run hard bars. I bore cut a ton and like a hard bar for more. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot to it, man. A lot to it. I've done a lot of bore cutting. Still, you get barber chairs. The best way that I have not had to get a barber chair is to do a Humboldt. Conventionals. I don't know if there's a difference or if my Humboldts are cleaner. But before I do any back cutting or even bore cut, I'll go in and I'll take 4 to 6 inches of belly, and I'll leave it depending on the diameter of the tree. I mean, if I've got a 20-inch ash or something like that, especially ash right now being so cold and being fragile, I'll leave 2.5 inches on each side. I'll take the belly out. I'll do like a rainbow with a bar type of deal, and then I'll bore each side, or I'll bore through if I can. Go back, but even doing the bore cut, if I'm not really cruising with a nice sharp chain and I leave a trigger, a lot of times it splits on me. So I'm trying to not leave time for a trigger no more. With it being so cold, I just try to shank it right off the rear, which I don't care for if I can't set a wedge or something like that, because some of these road trees they look like they're going one way and have questionable in the other. Born Butler, yeah, he was on. He's going back and forth with me right now in the comments too. I don't know what he found a short or something like that. Ground pounder, there he is. And we were just talking about crappy chats. I like to cut with a chainsaw. I got a 1 day job lately for 300. That was on absolutely, absolutely. You know, if you can get a couple of them, all of a sudden, well, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. I love my logging. We went into mud season, which was going to be really short this year. My son wasn't perfectly healthy. He had some gland things going on with his neck, and me being so far away, I didn't like it. So I ended up getting a couple tree jobs local. Got myself insurance, and here I am. I'm still going at it now. It's kept me busy all summer. Yeah, I've got one of the neighbor ladies that I do stuff for is doing uh, $40 an hour. Uh, wants me taking out shrubs and everything else. She won't let me pay her any, or she will not. Um, she will not pay any less than $40 an hour. She sets the rates. I tell her that she's like a grandma to me, and I'm not gonna, you know, charge and this, that, and the other. And she won't let me on the property basically. So you finally got them processed, eh? Good stuff. No, that's a trigger spot for me right now, Pounder. I'm freaking douche fluting it now. I got home from church and it's not horrible out. It's freezing rain, snow right now, but I didn't feel like getting the fire going to have an hour stream or something like that. So not to mention, like I said, it's a trigger spot right now. If I go in there with this computer and just sit there, I'll end up driving down to the store getting a pack of smokes. So yeah, it's a trigger. You leave that no taxes out of here, Mr. Todd Adams. We do everything above board. No. For anybody watching, everything's above board. Everything. I've been too busy to do it. I've been too busy to do it. I've been too busy to do it. I missed something. I'm doing the same, bro. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Ever since Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving Day, whatever it is, I have not lit a fire in that shed. I have went in, got the saws, got the fuel, got the ropes, filed. I actually did. No, I built that saw. I built that saw. I think before while I was still smoking, and I've been tinkering on, and I really have. It's actually sitting in the shop right now, all opened up because it's one of them. I need to go in, get it done, and get out scenarios. I know it is. All right, some guys saw shop. Some guys that is a tongue twister for me. Some guys saw shop. Good to have you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. I was too busy to process. The 11th will be 3 months. Good for you. I understand that, man. No, I love the processing myself, but I understand it completely. I get it. I get a skillet out there, and I freaking start dressing and put a couple slabs in there and eat and do it up. But mine's a day procedure. I make it a day. Um. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. No. I am. I've got one scheduled tomorrow. The rest so far, unless this drags on a little bit, I've got a little bit left to do for the lady down the road after tomorrow's job, and then hopefully I'll be uh, I'll be starting a new header here in the coming weeks. Now that winter's coming and hunting season's finally over, I can finally get into that back piece of property, the 40 acres in the back. That's got some big timber on it. I really hope the timber adds up better than this front section that I've been doing because my goodness, the board footage just did not work out with that front piece. I mean, you figure maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks of work for not a truckload of wood yet. Not good. This is my very first time I've ever had somebody do it. I can't even begin to tell you how many years I've done it over. Hey, I'm not demonizing you one bit, buddy. Not in the least. Do not. Oh man. That's hard, man. That's hard. My price for the way I'm doing it right now is $100 a face cord. So $300 a cord. Boiler wood obviously is probably a quarter of the work. What do you do? 24 inch, 24 inch, and on a 18-inch chunk, probably split 4 times. That's hard to say. Hard to say because that adds up so quick. I don't know. I don't know. Usually, firewood prices around here go from 60 to $120 a face cord. So you're looking at 120, 180, around 200 to $350 a face cord. Or I'm sorry, a cord. And then I don't know anybody around here that sells specific boiler wood. Just because I don't know. I think people would more or less just rather sell you a 16-inch firewood, at least on marketplace. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Around here, I can buy 10 cord semi, 8 foot log length. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. So for the truck and pup, of firewood that I have, truck and pup is going to go for $1,800. It's supposedly equivalent to 16 cord wood, but that's at 16 inch. Uh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, no. And Ed said it goes anywhere from 13 cord to 16 or 12 to 50. I don't remember what the heck it was. So yeah, there's fluctuation obviously with the size, and it takes, what is it, 4 inch, 4 inch wood. It's like 106 8 foot sticks to get a cord. But if you got 10 or 12-inch wood, it takes 50. There's some mathematic equation to it, man. RSD, I'll make my very first short, and then I'll ask you to watch it. So, okay. Sounds good, brother. Surprised old frickin' Sky Hunter didn't come in here. Disappeared for 2 weeks and then come back with a vengeance yesterday. Um, whoa, really? Whoa. How much does 10 cord a semi load go for up there or across there? 4 foot pieces. Holy cow, man! That's gotta be something to hang on to. Back in the day, they used to cut a lot of 4 foot. I got a guy up the road that wants me to cut him some 2 foot 2 foot spruce. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it is 2 foot. 2 foot chunks of spruce. He builds violins. So that's another reason I'm looking for a dump trailer. Excuse me. 12 to 1,500 delivered. Whoa. So that's close. That's close. Okay. 8 foot. We're looking at 16 foot here, or at least for the truck I'm dealing with, we do 16s. for firewood. I mean, they'll take down to 12, 10, 10, 12 foot. But 8 foot, yeah. So you're dealing with a mid mount. Yeah, I got you. Mid mount self load trailer, where this is a truck and pup. If it wasn't skinny poles, 4 foot would be perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Sure would be a lot easier than freaking 16 footers, especially some of them. They got so many freaking curves. I don't even think the processor man's going to like some of it. But Ed said put it out there. Put it out there. Of course, if I do go the processor route, if this does all work out with the side by side getting sold, I'll learn for myself. I'll have a little bit better understanding of the processor man. But like I said, I mean, $1,800 for me to give a load of logs, and for me only to receive $1,000 of it, or me to process it up myself, and for my rate that I charge of $100 a face cord, it'd be $4,200. That's hard to swallow. Hard to give away $3,000 like that, or well, it would be what 1,800. So it'd be $2,400 a load if it's 1,800. Yep. So, 225 to 250 for one full cord, seasoned and delivered for split firewood. See, I helping a lady out up the road. She works at my bank, and I was putting some checks in, and she's been buying some of my bundles that I have, and she was all mad at me for not having more bundles out at the store. I took the bundle rack down after Labor Day or something like that, when the campground shut down, and she was wanting to know if I had any more bundle wood. So I went out and gave her some bundle wood and some. She wanted some fire starters, so I had a pile of cedar, and cedar's it burns pretty good, or it starts at least pretty quick. So I brought her up some of that, and she had me check out her chimney and whatnot, and the freaking creosote was coming right out the front of the stove. And she said that she had paid a friend $500 for a cord of seasoned wood. And I went over there, I split one piece, I checked it out, and it was freaking 28%. So they got her for $200 over cord price wet. And it's just absolutely sickening. Absolutely sickening. So semi-seasoned wood is what they're getting away with. But if I do seasoning, which this is where it kind of gets squirrely on me. If you watch Outdoors with Morgan's, he sells seasoned wood. You guys know here I've got an acre and a half here. I've got 400 behind me, 60 across the road that I've been logging back and forth. That's what the channel started on. But for me to split, stack, season wood for 300, I think is kind of outrageous. It's too low. I wouldn't be able to keep but maybe 10 cord on hand for season stuff. So I'm half tempted to go the Log Fathers route and do the cut split into a dump trailer, get a cord, sell it. It's the customer's responsibility to cure it and put it to the you know what I mean, to stack it and season it themselves and buy a year ahead or buy 2 years ahead, whatever the case may be, like my aunt and uncle do. It's a lot of overhead, and I'm not going to say I'm too full of pride by any means, but I check my wood. I make sure that I am below 20%. Seasoned, I'd have to look at my my gauge again But I think seasoned is somewhere between 18 and 12 or 16 and 14, something like that is dry wood. And the last thing I want to do is be selling somebody seasoned wood and have their house go up in flames because it was too wet. You know what I'm saying? So for this individual that was considered a friend, giving her a seasoned load of wood, which not gonna lie, I mean the chunks were for a boiler, it would be perfect. You know, the chunks were freaking split four. It was stupid. It was stupid. You take a normal pizza, you cut it in four ways, and that's how big the chunks were. You know, it take 3 years for that crap to dry. So gooseneck loads of logs for $150. I would be dropping that off at your house and freaking cutting it 4 foot, Bubba. Yeah, it stinks, man. That's the thing, you know. That's why I did not want to get into firewood myself. I wanted to. I'll do the bundles. I'll do the tree work. I'll do the logging, the small scale stuff, and I'll leave the firewood to these guys that have got freaking $150,000 into a processor that'll take 22-inch logs. You know, they if they want to cut it and sell it for $50 a face cord, that's all up to them. But it takes me freaking an hour to make a face cord with my little splitter, and I, between the fuel, getting the logs to me, the chainsaw chains, the bars, all this other stuff, $50, I might be making $10 off of it by the time you're said and done. So that's why I do $100 a face cord, and it's selling. I'm almost out of seasoned wood, which I need the seasoned wood for my shed to keep me going all winter long. But the same thing, I've got a firewood rack out front, or 1 by 1 cubic foot squares, or whatever the heck you want to call it, 12 by 12, 14 by 14. But I've got $5 on that, and I'm selling 4 to 6 racks of that a day right now. People are not ready for this winter. It's crazy. And that's what I don't know what I should do. But I was talking to one of the gentlemen, and he rented a piece of property and stuck his camper right up the road here, and he's living out of a camper this winter because things are so bad in Vermont right now with the shootings and whatnot. So he literally rented a piece of property for 3 years to put his camper on, and he's living out of the thing, and he's buying my wood out of my little 1 by 1, and he says he gets 3 of them, and it lasts him 2-3 days. And I'm like, dude, what if I fill up one of my ICB totes? You know, I could put more than a face cord in there, and I'll give it to you $100. Said he can't afford it right now. So I don't know. I'm half tempted to go up and give him a face cord, but it's not going to last. You know, that's the biggest thing. And with these people that are already relying on me to have cured wood for them, I don't have a cord left of it. You know, I started the year off maybe with 4, and now I'm down to just off the. I sold 1 cord, and I bet you I've gotten rid of about two cords out of the racks out front already. Um, I'm getting off topic again. I'm sorry. That's exactly how I do it, bro. You cut it, you split it, you stack it, you season it. Yep, absolutely. You handle it once, you dump it. It's not your problem no more. And if you're taken care of for heat, you don't need to worry about it. You know, it's money in the bank. That's the biggest thing is I don't even burn wood. I burn wood in my shed. I burn coal in my house. You know, which next year that might be changing. The old administration we've got right now is really, really putting a hurting on the coal, which absolutely sucks. I've burnt coal here 7 years now, and 40 pounds of coal burns 24 hours a day. I touched the stove once. That's why I got away from firewood. I had a firewood stove here, which now, with the job that I'm doing and working locally, I could keep a fire going in the house. Well, but being gone 12, 16 hours, something like that, when I was logging and plowing snow and doing all that in the wintertime, it was nice to not have to worry about heat for your family. I don't have a furnace or anything in here. I've got a monitor in the back room, which deals with the kitchen and bathroom type of deal. Because my house was built 1876, it's not efficient in any way, shape, or form. So the coal keeps the house going. The monitor keeps the bathroom from freezing up realistically. And now, when I first started burning coal, it was like $4 a bag. Um, First year Biden went into office, we're at $10 a bag, and this year I went down and we're at $14.50 a bag. So having a very hard time with that. This guy can go out here supposedly, which I don't understand how he's doing. It doesn't really matter, but he's heating his camper for $5 a day, and I'm heating my house for $14.50 a day. So what is the which definitely wouldn't work out here. I'd be burning freaking that whole rack in a day. Axing them all. That's the way I love doing it. My issue is generally, for the most part. I mean, I've been getting some nice stuff now, but generally, I'd leave the nice pieces for for the bundles and whatnot, or whatever the case may be, and then the garbage I would use the splitter for. But now it's it's hard for me to keep an audience by hand splitting. I put one video up on it and it really didn't do jack. So then all of a sudden I put a video up of me doing it with a firewood splitter, an old 1970 splitter, and people are blowing it up. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's all in what people will watch. Especially if I get a processor, it's not gonna. I don't know. I have to figure out how to make my content palatable because I'm too production focused. I'm trying to start a little company here. I didn't sell it for myself and work out. Help people here think I will give them a discount price if I keep the wood from the job. Yeah. No. I've done the discounts for you keeping what I take down. Yeah, I've done that before. We don't want the wood. We don't want the wood. With the amount of tree work that's out there and the amount of tree work that you deal with, actually, that's the only way that I've been doing jobs. I've had maybe a handful this year where I've had to get rid of the wood, and locally I can get rid of it. But out in Placid and Tupper Lake, places like that, they need me to get rid of it. I have to bring somebody else in. I don't have a dump trailer, and I am not beating up my truck and my trailer, bringing it all the way out there to freaking load all that crap on. We don't want your wood. I don't think there's too many people. Then again, you watch the inner cities where they're asking what they think of JB there. JB, yeah. Oh, I did it right. FJB, but they still are brainwashed. They still are brainwashed. But that is so funny. That is so funny how that came about. Was it NASCAR? Yeah. You said the quiet part out loud. No, I actually had some. I got my MAGA hat right there in the camouflage, but I don't know. I'm so done with it all. I had a. Oh, I don't even have that anymore. Holy cow! Library, years, all photos. Well, I had one. We had coyotes lined up in a field, and we made FJB out of it. You could drone shot. Um, but nonetheless, I think I've taken up enough of your time, guys. Thank you for the back and forth. This makes so much easier of a stream than trying to think of what I'm going to talk about. I don't need many people in here. I think we've had 2 or 3 people in here, but we the back and forth is awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. But yeah, I'll see what I can't get into this week. Like I said, I know I got a job. I don't record the jobs out where I've been uh, for reasons. But we'll get back. I do have, like I said, I got at least an hour's worth of content or something like that I've got to edit down, try to figure out, and then I will. I'll try to do more talking. I'll try to explain. I guess more talking, less movement, less activity or whatever. I'll try it. We'll see how it does. But I want to thank you guys very much for the support, your time. That's huge. Ground Pounder, Todd, Saw Shop fella. You guys have a wonderful week. Keep your heads up. Watch them. Watch what'll get you. And God bless y'all. I wish it was multiple split screen. Well, we'll do. Hopefully, Ground Pounder gets back to me one of these days, and we'll do a dual stream. Same thing with you, Todd. If you're interested in ever doing that, I'm more than happy to do that. Actually, I think you have to have a YouTube channel because you can't. I mean, yeah, something like that. Nonetheless, God bless y'all. We'll see you next time. Wrong mouse. This one.